Well, I'm at my hotel room here in Seattle, and I'll give them bonus points to the hotel. Diet Dr. Pepper. Very happy about that. But, all this talk about you need to get tested, you need to fill out forms and everything when you travel? Well, let me tell you about my experience today. Okay, so I flew in today on Air Canada, and the very first thing they said before you're allowed to do anything in your online check-in is that you have to get your COVID test. It has to be at least an antigen test, and it has to be 72 hours still. 72 hours before you fly. Okay, I got mine the day before I flew, so no problem there. And then you have to fill out this form stating that you're fully vaccinated and that you also took a test. And you're going to be asked for this form. You got to sign it, and it's a declaration, and you're liable if you're lying, and you can be charged. And no one asked me for it. In fact, no one even asked me if I had a COVID test. That's right. I flew from Ottawa to Vancouver, and then from Vancouver to Seattle. I went through 3 sets of customs, and not one person asked me if I had my test. I see some errors there. I see some contradictions there. But all in all, flight was fantastic. Flew in on an Air Canada once again because it was a long flight, 6 hours. I booked the business class with the private, you have one seat kind of thing, and you can lie down and you have a meal. It's very comfortable, good TV and everything. And I actually fell asleep. They give you these noise canceling headphones, and they did such a good job because I literally put it on one ear, pulled the one off the other ear, and put a pillow here and lied down while I was listening to one of the movies and fell asleep watching a movie. And I woke up and there were snacks set up around me on my shelf in my little booth and everything. So they really took care of me. I really am enjoying business class when I fly, if I can get those lie flat seats. I also, you're not beside somebody, you're not rubbing elbows with somebody. And then my next flight was from Vancouver to Seattle. Now this is a very, very quick flight. I think it took 35 minutes. But it's a smaller plane, a thin, narrow plane, 2 seats on each side, and I was beside this young girl on my right who was very, very tiny, might have weighed 80 pounds kind of thing. And I just sat like this, but just sitting like this normal, my elbow was over on the arm, and so I was kind of moving myself like this. So I'm glad it was just a small flight, and I was leaning on, I had the window seat, and I was leaning like this. But what a difference when you just came out of a business class, and then you go into that. Oh yeah, now I remember this. Now I'm thinking, now what would I be if I felt claustrophobic there with 2 seats? How claustrophobic would I feel with 3 seats? Aisle seat, window seat, and somebody in the middle, especially if I was in the middle seat. Things will be better when we're not wearing masks again, and we're not so, nervous about some things. It'll be better. But the plane was full, and every seat was taken, and we were shoulder to shoulder. And not one person asked to see if I've been vaccinated or even if I've taken a test to fly. And remember, you have to take a test to fly to another country. It's not like right now flying in the United States. You can go anywhere in the US that you don't have to take a test. That's fine. Same in Canada. I can go from province to province, I'm okay. But when you leave the country, you have to show that you have a test. And they're supposed to take those forms. I don't know where I fell through the cracks. I didn't sidetrack anywhere. My luggage got here on time. I was in business class, for goodness sake. Maybe they trust business class. I don't know. But there you go. So all that hullabaloo about you have to be tested and you have to make sure you get that test ahead of time. I could have just skipped it because apparently I just got through without ever being asked.